Chicago Bulls had probably the ideal offseason, in my opinion. It's an offseason where, they made the right moves, they made the needed moves. Uh, they took advantage of the cap space they had, and they weren't one of the teams that was coming into the season with a ton of cap space expected to sign a bunch of free agents. It's kind of the offseason that I wish my Dallas Mavericks had, but kudos to the front office of the Chicago Bulls between the trade deadline of the previous season and this offseason. They have taken the right steps to move the franchise forward out of poverty that they've dealt with for a majority of this decade. Um, the biggest move, obviously, that they made this offseason was signing DeMar DeRozan. In my opinion, I don't know if anyone else knew or had an idea about this, but until the rumors came out, I don't think anyone really attached DeMar DeRozan to the Chicago Bulls. There were a lot of teams he were attached. Well, not a lot, but most teams he were attached to, like my Dallas Mavericks, the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm not sure, but I think the Miami Heat was one. I could be wrong. I could just be remembering things differently. But the Chicago Bulls were not a team that came up in that conversation. And when the rumors came out, I was like, well, that can't be true. How are they going to sign DeMar DeRozan? But like a good friend of mine, Bibbs, always says, cap space doesn't matter. If a player wants to be on your team, they'll make it happen. And with signing trades, this was the offseason with the most signing trades we've seen in NBA history. And this was one of the big ones, signing trade involving DeMar DeRozan going to the Chicago Bulls. Now, there were some tampering investigations and allegations going on, so I don't know if this is going to come back to bite the Bulls in the ass. But regardless, DeMar DeRozan is now a Chicago Bull. They have a great wing scorer next to Zach LaVine, who is becoming a star in this league. A player I can't wait to see in the playoffs, and I feel like this season is going to be the season we finally see it. Last trade deadline, they made the move for Nikola Vucevic, an underrated center in the league, in my opinion, even though I know he gets a lot of love. I don't think he gets as much love. Not a guy for much defense, but his offense does more than make up for it, in my opinion. Now they have their own little big three, I guess. Not a legit big three, but a nice all-star trio with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, two incredibly athletic players, especially DeMar for his age, mid-range killer, not much of a floor spacer, but a guy who can still get the job done. They have Nikola Vucevic, they have sophomore coming into the season, Patrick Williams, who's showing a lot of promise. And they also took care of another signing trade this offseason with Lonzo Ball coming from the New Orleans Pelicans to go to the Chicago Bulls. Another great move with guys like Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic. You now have a legit floor general, a playmaker, a legit playmaker, a true point guard who can actually now space the floor with the way Lonzo shot the ball last season. Now, I'm always under the impression that guys play their best under their contract years so they can get that money. Then later on, we don't really see them play that well again. Seen it happen multiple times. I'm pretty sure you have too, but I hope that isn't the case with Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is a great player. I think he's going to fit well with the Chicago Bulls team, just being the floor general for them. But they didn't stop there. They also went and acquired Alex Caruso from the Los Angeles Lakers, who I think is going to be a nice addition off the bench for this team. They still have Kobe White off the bench for this team. They did suffer a few losses. They suffered the loss of Thaddeus Young, who played great for them. They suffered the loss. Well, I don't know if you want to say suffer. They were trying to get rid of this player, Lauri Markkanen, who didn't want to be there. The Bulls didn't want him there anymore, and he moved on to the Cleveland Cavaliers in a three-team trade scenario. Really, they lost Daniel Tice, who wasn't a huge, addition. He came through at the trade deadline. So I think the Chicago Bulls more than made up for anything that they lost this offseason. I know a lot of people aren't sure where they're going to land in the standings. Some people probably don't want to put them too high just to get hopes up just because of the moves they made. The East is kind of top heavy. You got teams like, the Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know how the Sixers are gonna land, so who knows? Who knows how the Miami Heat is gonna go? But I think the Chicago Bulls are a legit playoff team. I don't think they're a play-in team at all. If they are, so be it. I mean, but still, I don't think they're a play-in team. I think they'll finish in the legit top 6, maybe even the top 5. You never know how this regular season is gonna go. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people probably expected the Sixers to be a legit playoff team, but number one, pretty sure no one expected that. So, well, besides Sixers fans, but yeah, I think the Chicago Bulls are going to have a great, successful season. It's going to be fun to see guys like Zach LaVine in the playoffs. It's going to be fun to see Vucevic in the playoffs again, where he's actually on a team that can compete as opposed to being a 7th or 8th seed that's under 500 and still make the playoffs. I have high hopes for this team. I would like to see Zach LaVine and Vucevic make an all-star game together. I think that would be fun. I think this is great for the city of Chicago and the fans of the Chicago Bulls that sat through the Garpax era and, the tragedy of Derrick Rose going down with an injury after he was bringing so much success to the city. And the time between now and then, it's been probably felt like ages for Bulls fans. So I know how diehard and passionate Bulls fans are, and I'm just happy they get to have this moment. Hopefully it works out. I would hate for them to make these moves and it doesn't work out, but there's no world where I can't see the Bulls being a playoff team this season at the very least, even if that means they have to go through the play and do it. I can't see a scenario where they're not in the playoffs. So if you're a Bulls fan, let me know what you thought about the offseason. Like I said, I don't give grades, but if I had to give a grade, I'd give this a minus or A, flat out. Let me know what you thought about the offseason down below. What are your expectations for the Bulls this season? Do you think they're going to be a play-in playoff team, or they're going to flat out, just solidify themselves in top 6, top 5? What do you think? Who's your favorite addition going into this season? Who do you have high hopes for? Let me know all of that down in the comment section below, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video. Hit the subscribe button. Ring the notification bell so you know when your team video is going up next. Should be a playlist up around here somewhere right about now. You can click the link. Watch the videos from 30 Days of Hoops that you missed so far. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.